Namaha Aste.
Namaste.
Namaste everyone.
Namaste.
Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha.
First and foremost, I would say that I'm very glad that you have brought this festival of Bharat. There's much to celebrate.
There is something about India which is special. Jews lived in India as a small minority for centuries, never persecuted. Never persecuted.
Should I speak about Shakti through the lens of a writer? Should I speak about Shakti through the lens of yoga and explain Pran Shakti and how that travels through our body and why feminine energy is so important?
It's easy for me to be a vegan because we have a 1,000-year-old culinary tradition which believes in making plants the center of food rather than a dead animal the center of a table.
Time and time again, we call Bharat Dev Bhumi. Time and time again, it's nourished by some sort of a wisdom and an energy.
India, after hundreds of years, is going through somewhat of a renaissance.
I want our India to lead and shape the fourth industrial revolution.
If I were to describe the DNA of the Indian Army in 3 words, I would say Izzat, Wafadari, Dastur.
There is a lot in Indian heritage and traditions that one can get inspired from.
Bhava, Raga, Tala. The 3 essentials necessary to live a balanced, beautiful life.
I think by far one of India's greatest exports has to be yoga and meditation.
Nation's foreign policy is a policy and not ideology.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is catapulting Bharat up the global rankings on socio-economic metrics.
If there is one fault that Mr. Modi can be accused of, it's not intolerance, it's extreme tolerance.
In pharmacy, when I go on international platforms, the whole Africa says, we are saved because of Indian pharmaceutical industry, which has given us affordable and quality medicine, and that is why we are.
In the government job, the minorities representation from the Muslim community, in particular I'm talking about, has gone up substantially in the last 4.5 years.
The Patelian idea of India is the pragmatic idea of India. The Patelian idea of India is the idea of India that sees India for what it is and not for what it could be.
India is the only country in the world where minorities have found refuge and have been able to practice in total freedom their religion.
India or Bharat is the only place where everybody has been welcome.
When Mohan Bhagwat ji very clearly talked about who is a Hindu. And he says, even if you don't like your name, but this is it. And anybody who denounces Muslims and in India and calls them non-Hindus or non-Indians are guilty, because there is no such thing. By virtue of being in India, you are an Indian and a Hindu.
मुसलमानों के लिए पूरी दुनिया में सबसे अच्छा मुल्क अगर कोई है तो हिंदुस्तान है और सबसे अच्छा पड़ोसी है अगर तो कोई हिंदू है.
We have a saying in Afghanistan that once we the Afghans offer a friendship hand, we stand by it forever. And indeed we will do that. ये दोस्ती हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे.
There is no sharp divide between the human and the divine.
We act as if we need to be told by the West how to deal with menstruation, whereas we are the only culture that even today celebrates it.
Beautiful.
Adhikar is important. A fundamental of dharmic giving and receiving is the establishment of Adhikar. And I think a problem that we've had in the past is that we renounced Adhikar in a spirit of unrestrained generosity and magnanimity, and it hasn't really served us.
The next steps are going to be legalizing gay marriage, but more than gay people, give a thought to the transgender people.
In India today, if you talk about it, if you talk about introducing Sanskrit as a part of the curriculum, it would be called saffronization for no reason.
Indian men have it in their DNA. They love to be dominated by women.
Yeah, that's where I got lost.
It's worse in a fish market, at least, business is done.
When she was pregnant with me, she would go to Samskrita classes where she would learn how to write the Devanagari script, and then in childhood heard many prayers from the Upanishads.
We all have our basic mantra, our basic platform, which is Sanatan Dharma.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is what we all stand for, and that is the highest level of acceptance and respect.